So, Carlos Exekias, he's a developer at Zentyal. He's going to explain how you can actually modify the behavior of Zentyal. What is the right way to do it?
Thank you. Thank you. So, I'd like to say that Carlos Pérez-Aradros, I'm Zentyal developer. I have worked in Zentyal server and also in Zentyal cloud. And I want to talk to you about how to customize Zentyal behavior by the use of templates, hooks, and LDAP integration. Well, you know, we have talking about Zentyal. It's very easy to use, has a very good integration, but it's also versatile. And we like it like that. It's very easy. So we have to make some compromise between what you can configure and what not. Because it will be very difficult for a mid user. So sometimes you need some specific customization or integrate some third-party application that is not included as a module. And we are going to learn how to do that. Third way to do that is modifying source code. Host is going to talk about that, or not? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you can modify all our code, you know it's GPL. So adding new logic or functionality for your needs. You can change any module and change the interface to insert some functionality, you know. But when you install some package you have created, you have to take into account that upgrading that package against our community server, our PPA, will break your package because it will revert your changes. So if you think the change worth it, you can submit it to upstream, and if it's good, we'll integrate in our code. Okay. Second way to modify, to customize Zentyal is through the use of templates. Templates are used to write configuration files. Zentyal uses it. So you can modify them to add something you want into that template. Hooks, also hooks. You can define some scripts or actions that you want to run on module events when saving changes and so on. And the last option I want to talk to you about is LDAP, how to integrate third-party applications on our LDAP structure. So let's start with templates because source code and how to program a module is going to Host is going to explain that. Templates. Zentyal uses templates to write almost every conf file it writes. For system files, for each module, write configuration files for the daemons. On each write, it goes to a template. It passes it some parameters and writes the file. So you want to modify templates if to adjust some parameters that fits your requirements, or even remove some options, some missing options that we haven't included. Let's see an example template. I have to say we use Mason as template processor. It's very simple. I don't know if you can see it. This is a very simple one. I don't know if you recognize, but this one writes a result conf file to let the server know where to search DNS. So you have the parameters here. Zentyal pass these parameters to the template, and you use them in order to write. This template also includes some code. This is parent code, but lines without that simple are just the template where you include the bars, the parameters. So, as Jorge said in presentation before, default templates written when you install the package are located in user share, Zentyal stubs, module name, and the template. But if you want to write some template, it's better to put it in etc Zentyal stubs, because when you upgrade, it won't be overridden. This is important because if you modify this file, it will be overridden on upgrade of the module. Let's see how it works. Here we have Zentyal. We have here the file Zentyal is going to write on save changes, for example, and there is the template. It's located in user share Zentyal. If you want to modify some file written by Zentyal, take into account. You modify it here. I go and I write this file. On next save changes, Zentyal will override it. Will override your change. If we modify that template in user share, as I said, on upgrade of the package, that will be overridden. So you need to write to create the custom template on etc. Just that. Oh no, sorry. How many of you do use Zentyal? Have used Zentyal or know how to use Zentyal? I suppose almost everything. Almost everyone. Okay. So I want to show you an example. As you can see, this is the interface, Zentyal interface to configure Samba shares, and you cannot here mark some share as a hidden folder. So every share you configure will be shown to the users. We are going to see how to modify the Samba template to create a hidden folder. First of all, we create the path for, as I told you, and in this case, better thing you can do is to search for the template on user share Zentyal stubs, the module you want to modify, and look at there. In this case, usually it's very easy because it's the name of the final file, then final name plus mass, MAS. So in this case, we are going to modify SMB file. We copy there and we open, and edit. You can see a lot of parameters. Zentyal list pass to this template. And if we scroll down, we have here where I don't know if you can read this more or less. No?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. It's just a template. Zentyal here is writing for each share you configure through the interface. Is writing all the conf file. We can add at the bottom, for example, custom code, custom options. In this case, I have a code for a custom share which is hidden. I don't know if I mark this. Well, the change here is usually browsable option is set to yes, here is set to no, and that's it. Next time you set change, this template will apply. And this share will be configured in Samba. So that's it. Templates are very simple actually. You can get the original template, see how it works, and add whatever you want, or even modify. If you see that you don't like some default value we set up, you can modify it. I don't know. You see here some permissions we give to the folder. You can change them. Of course, you need to know what you are doing. So we are going to pass to the next section. Hooks, a little more complicated. Zentyal gives you some mechanism to react to Zentyal events. Not Zentyal events on the log stuff. Events when saving changes, events on each module. In this case, you can execute some script, custom actions, in one script you can write, to changes in any module. And when you receive the signal, which tell you a module has changed, which we'll see what signal do you have, you can execute custom code. Basically, you can write a script and say, just before saving Samba module, please do this. For any reason, we'll see an example. Okay, this is the list of available hooks right now. We have two main hooks, before saving changes and after saving changes. Every script you put here in these folders will be run when the user save changes. As I said, that one before, that one after. The script must be executable. We have also, for each module, before saving module configuration, before writing configuration files, after writing that files, before restarting the daemons of the module, and after restarting the daemons. So let's see how it works. When the color code in red is a hook, in green is a Zentyal action that is always run. It's always run. When the user saves changes, first action is Zentyal checks if for every hook in that folder, which we saw before, and run them every time the user saves changes. After that, and before writing config field files to templates, it calls for every preset conf hook. It grabs the files and calls for every post set conf hook. After that, the same for restarting demos, pre-restarting demos and after, before and after. So it's very simple. And after the whole process, because all these actions are for every module, we have the post save hooks. After the save, all the hooks in that folder. So I want to tell you an example of this. What is this useful? Usually, for example, when you want a custom firewall rule, it's very common that you can not input in our interface. You have to write it. But on every firewall restart, and we say change, most of them, that rule will disappear. Zentyal will delete it. So best practice for this is to create a hook and put that rule there. I'm going to show you an example of how to, using GOIP, block something from any country you want. As I said, if we add the rule by hand, Zentyal will delete it. So we add the rule in a script after firewall restart, because after firewall restart, all the firewall rules will be written. Yeah, by Zentyal. Well, this is just how to set up GOIP, but I think we are behind the clock, so okay, we'll publish this at some point, so you can get it. Basically, here I'm installing some module for IP tables, so you can detect the country of the IP and use it for a match on IP table rule. So let's write the hook. We put it in etc Zentyal hooks firewall post service because we want it after firewall restart. And the script is just that. Add an IP table rule. In this case, I'm blocking input traffic from Korea, North Korea. And of course, don't forget to make it executable. Because if it's not, Zentyal will ignore it. And that's all. You have hooks. You can put on after and before each module action. So this is very useful to integrate some third-party apps. Think about it. A lot of use. And I also want to talk about the future of hooks. We plan to add, I hope, some hooks for user operations because we think it's very important. So you can, on each user creation, modify or deletion, you can hook your scripts and do whatever you want. And also, this is a very good example because this has been asked for in developers mailing list. I don't know if you follow it, but Oliver, who didn't care, asked for a pre-backup and post-backup hooks. So you can use this, for example, to dump your MySQL database before the backup. Dump, and then backup will take that into account, that value. In a pre-backup hook, you can dump all your database to a file and include that file in the backup. So we plan to add these hooks, and I don't know if it's something else. And the last step, oh, I went too fast. Well, better. We can discuss. LDAP integration. Zentyal provides a great user interface to manage LDAP users, groups. It's very easy. And users usually like it. Some users have talked to me about that these days. We have a central point to manage your users, and this gives you the power to create centralized out. And also you can distribute all this data using master slave architecture. We all know, Jorge also talked about this. So you can use our LDAP to integrate third-party application that Zentyal does not include. So, for example, I don't know, Drupal, Fresco, WordPress, Moodle, Subsonic, which I like very much. Let's see an example of how well, not yet, for example. In users and groups, this is the Zentyal interface. In the menu, users and groups, LDAP settings, you have here all the data you need to configure a third-party application, a backend or whatever that application. The only data you don't have there is the server, which is LDAP, localhost, or the IP if you are not from the same host, and the port, which is 389 for a master and 1389 for a slave. This is important. So, okay, you have the users DN, the groups DN. All this info will be asked to you in order to configure an LDAP backend. Sometimes you need, when configuring a backend, you need to filter what users or what info about the users, or you want to restrict only for some users the login, for example. So this is a dump of our LDAP where you can see all the attributes for one user, that's my user, and the same for a group. It's just a note, because sometimes when you are configuring an LDAP backend, some of this data will be asked to you. I put here this example because it's the most common. Usually you filter when you configure an LDAP backend. It was due to filter which users, or how can it find the users. This filter, which is LDAP syntax, is intended to filter all Zentyal users. You can see UID, that's the first part of each user at the end. So let's see an example of on how to configure WordPress with an LDAP backend. So all your Zentyal users will be able to log in this WordPress. First of all, we have to find a backend which accepts LDAP. I did a little search, and there are plenty of backends. I choose the first one because I have so much time. After install, I went to the backend configuration, and you will see it's very easy. I marked the only fields I have to fill. This is the login attribute, as I said, UID. This is for every user. The base DN for the users, which you can copy from the settings I said in the interface, and the IP and host. In this case, it is an slave, so you have the port 1389. But with only filling that fields, that's working. You have your integration done, and all your users can log in into the WordPress. So, just in summary, you can modify the source, and please submit it if you think it works. You can create templates to change configuration files. You can create hooks, and you can integrate third-party applications. Or you can mix all these things to your custom solutions. Okay, get help. If you need help on doing this, you can start wherever you want. You have the forum, which is very active. You have our mailing list, Zentyal users and Zentyal developers. Both are okay. IRC, we are Zentyal free node. And also you can ask for official support or training. It's not very common, but sometimes we give training for this advanced stuff. People ask, and well, you can ask for it. You can contact us. And don't forget to contribute. If you do something, Mateo will talk on how to do this. But if you do something you think it works for another user in our community, please contribute. We really like it. When some users contribute, we really like it. Well, I will let here some links for further reading if you are very interested in this. Zentyal documentation, which explains hooks and templates. Mason documentation for now how to write that templates. Xtables add-ons, which I used for block Korea, and well, some open LDAP filters documentation to know how to write filters for your backend integration. Thank you for listening, and if there is any question?
That's a simple question. Do we get those presentations afterwards?
Yeah.
After writing?
And
so do we get the presentations afterwards? You email them or?
Yes, I suppose you will.
Yes.
We will upload it.
I think they are going to be uploaded to the event website. You don't have to take a picture of this.
Take one. You want, I can pass all the slides slowly so you can.
I'll give you my email.
Okay. Now we'll Any other question? Maybe I went too fast. I'm sorry, but I think you got the idea. Yep.
For the hooks,
Yes.
when you mean that the module name, that's the file that we need on which we need to put the hook, for instance, to be run before the action or after the action,
Yeah.
should be started with by the module name.
Yes. No, it's in the path.
Yeah, in the past. It's the module name from the Zentyal module.
Yes. Yes.
So
It usually not always is the same name as in the package.
as in the
You
package.
install Zentyal-Samba.
Yeah. So it's the Debian package.
Yes.
It's not okay.
Yes. So it's very easy. But actually, you want to user share.
Yeah.
Zentyal structs. You have all
So it's
of that folders there.
So
it's the same structure.
it's the same names and the steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Esto es muy finito para un time el anzuelo y el...
Well, this is not the data I was looking for, but it's the same structure.
Because on your stub slide,
Yes.
you showed the name of the stub was samba.mes.
Samba.
It was called Samba. The prefix was Samba. And for that one, the prefix was firewall. So Samba is the name of a Debian package, and I don't think firewall is the name of the Debian package.
Yes, it is. No?
I think
Zentyal firewall?
it won't be just firewall. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I made a mistake, but I think it's firewall. No, host. The name of the package, Zentyal firewall, is Zentyal firewall. Yes.
Okay, so it's Zentyal-firewall.
But for
because
hooks,
for
for
hooks,
hooks, you can use the name you want. Oh yeah. No, I was thinking about this slide. Sorry. For hooks, you can.
No, you have to use
No,
the name
no,
of the
no,
module.
okay.
But the name of
Is that
the internal name of the module. I mean,
Yes.
when you instance the module in the constructor, you pass
Yeah,
an
same.
attribute that says name firewall.
Yeah.
That's it. But in 100% of the cases, it is the same as the name of the package without the Zentyal
Without the
part
Zentyal.
in the front.
100%.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there in the.
Yeah,
we
in
changed something.
2.0 it was.
The Zentyal core package is an.
Yeah, you share
because
it.
it has additional modules like logs and events that don't have a separate package.
Do you have any other question? Okay, thank you.